This is Emanuel Harrold, and I love J. Ross
What's
TV.
up, y'all? It's your boy J. Ross, 10 million strong, hanging out in St. Louis with the drummer extraordinaire, Mr. Emanuel Harrold, y'all. He in town with Gregory Porter. They hitting at the bistro tonight, y'all. We just want to get a quick interview because he is a St. Louis, and y'all, he representing.
St. Louis.
Oh, all right, let's get through it because folks always say, hey, man, when you start playing and what was your motivation?
I started when I was a little kid, but I started on horn,
What type of horn?
like soprano horn. My grandfather had a drum and bugle corps, and we all kind of came up through that. Along with coming through church, my mom had us singing, and we gravitated to instruments.
Yeah, so you love drums more than horn?
Yeah, the story was my grandfather wanted us to play horns, and I always would get on the drums, but my grandfather would be like, "No, you're a horn player. You're not a drummer."
Yeah.
So it'd be like I would sneak on him. Like until I was 17, I was never ever like really able to express myself on the drums until I was able to just like venture out on my own.
So in becoming a drummer, how did you learn how to get your timing down for cats coming up that's bad with timing, so to speak?
Yeah, you got to count. It's as simple as 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah.
Now, do you recommend metronome and all that type of
I
noise?
recommend metronome. All my friends, they recommend to me a metronome. When I was having timing problem, I would ask them like, how you get your time? And they say share it to a metronome, and then eventually, to kind of get out of, you share with cats like you like their sound that got some good timing, so you can kind of see how it feels over like perfect time.
Yeah, so now is it good for guys to listen to records and play along with the records and kind of learn different type of techniques?
Yes, I highly recommend it. Then you understand where style comes into play, like, the difference from Art Blakey and Max Roach. They're coming from the same place, but they got different nuances or different touches, the way they will approach their instrument.
Well, let me ask you this, E. Now you the drummer, you kidding with everybody. How did you develop your own style? Once you listen to the guys growing up, you said, well, I got to develop my own thing.
Right.
How did you break out of the mold and become who you are as a drummer?
Just like getting a group of cats that inspire you the most, and you check them out to a point to where you shedding the way they approach, and then you just keep shedding, and you all of a sudden you start hearing sounds off of what you was hearing, what they were doing. So you're like, oh, maybe I'll roll off the tom this way, or I'll hit the hi-hat this way. Just trying to be more, think of it creatively in a different manner. But it's the same thing, but like instead of using a snare, you'll use a cymbal. Or instead of using a cymbal, you'll play the bass drum.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Just moving it around the kit, because it's the same thing, but when you play it on a different sound, you're gonna get a different like texture.
Hey, so in traveling the world, do you find that drummers overseas or follow the American style, or vice versa, or everybody just out for their own?
Well, I mean, everybody gravitate to the great jazz drummers and the great R&B and soul drummers of our time. Because you got the different styles, but if you hear it, I mean, it's definitely African American influenced.
Mm-hmm.
But as well, you got creative. You got a lot of genres. I don't know if I don't know how to put it, but gospel cats right now is influencing the world. Even into the jazz, into like whatever. But just like I'd say, yeah. I think we've influenced a lot of people,
It seems like jazz musicians on a higher level than regular musicians. It seems like their creativity is so far out there in abundance.
'Cause jazz is about just like really getting into your instrument and your sound and how your instrument works. Whether you just getting down and then you just like cookie cutter musician. It's about doing your research, doing your history, understanding multiple styles of music, and then elaborating on that when you perform.
Well, any advice on to cats coming up on traveling and trying to keep home life straight and keep your bills paid, all that type of stuff?
Definitely. First of all, I say keep God number one. You know what I mean? Don't forget God in your earnings. That's number one. And number two is it's so many vehicles to where you can be in contact and make sure your home is straight. You got Skype, you got Tango, you got Google Talk, as well as you know, if you got a lady back home, don't forget about her. You know, we gonna do whatever we do, but at the same time, don't forget about her. Pick her up a gift, send her a purse or something. Don't forget about home. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what's next up for you, Big E? What you got on the agenda in the future?
We headed to New York, playing Carnegie Hall and New Orleans, and then we headed to Europe for a while again.
Now, growing up, you ever thought you would be doing stuff like that? Playing Carnegie Hall? I mean, my goodness.
I never thought about it. I was like, I grew up in a church, man, playing shout music for like 4 hours. So, so I mean, as I went, you know, I started dreaming bigger, and I, you know, had a dream that I would be on a big stage one day. So
yeah. So how can folks get in contact with you? You want to just holler at you?
Man, you can hit me via Facebook, Emanuel Harrold Facebook, or you can hit me, email me through my company, rocketentertainment@gmail.com.
All right, y'all. That's Emanuel Harrold. We in St. Louis. He hitting drums tonight, y'all, with Gregory Porter, Jazz at the Bistro. We're going to let him roll up out of here, y'all. J. Ross TV, 10 million strong. We gone, y'all. Peace.
Holla.